And welcome to another night's racing. I am your host, Chris Panic at the Tesco, and I have got a surprise for you this weekend because I am not driving. I have decided enough is enough. I cannot go on not winning races, and I have hung up my boots. No, I'm joking. I am not racing, but tonight's race isn't about me. Tonight's race is about our commentators on the Ultimate Racing League and saying thank you for all of the hard work that they've put in commentating on the live races throughout the last season. So now that the seasons are wrapped up and we've all gone back to our kids and families, we've gone back to watching Coronation Street on a Sunday night, it's time to have a bit of fun with a special race. Not everyone who's in the race tonight is a commentator, and there's a mix of racing drivers and commentators, and most of the commentators are also racing drivers anyway. I'm basically going to try my hand at talking absolute nonsense for the next hour. The format of tonight's race is an endurance race. It's 50 minutes long. So I will have to think of lots of things to say during those 50 minutes to keep it interesting. We have got 10 minutes of qualifying as well to decide which of our commentators is the fastest. Throughout, I'll be commentating also on the driving skills of our competitors, our gladiators at the wheel. Let's have a look at what cars we've got on track anyway. It's a GT3 race. Faster machinery than what I've been driving in the last season. These GT3 cars are a bit of a handful, especially coming out of the corners. And we've got a nice mixture of cars and liveries as well. We have got the likes of a Lamborghini Huracan from That's Life. We've got some Audi R8s, some rather scary to drive BMW M6s. I've driven that M6. It's a horrible car to drive. That will be quite fun to go on board and watch. And a mixture of everything in between. I'll try and give a shout out to everyone as we go. But what I'm going to do before we get started, I cannot resist having a bit of a go myself. So I've hopefully okayed this with the marshals and with the track guys. They'll be wondering, why am I driving? I just can't resist it. I'm not going to take part in the race because I'm commentating. And I'm also not going to take part in qualifying. I'm definitely not going to try and get in anyone's way. But what I wanted to do is give you a lap guide of this track that we're at. We're at Watkins Glen. And you know what? Nah, let's not do it from that view. I'm not that adventurous. We will do it from the nose camera. I'm driving the Lamborghini Huracan just because I really like it. The fastest time, by the way, in practice is incredibly fast. I think Scotty is some kind of alien. And I am getting sideways because I'm trying to multitask, talk and drive at the same time. Yes, I will try and talk you through the lap. I am on the racing medium tyres though, so they're not the fastest tyres. I'll try and explain what I'm doing. I'm not explaining what I'm doing very well here because I'm too busy talking nonsense. But let's start talking now. And we've got a record number of viewers, by the way. So I'm going to be braking at the last board on the right, on the left there. Try and tuck the car into the apex and on the power nice and smooth because the speed down this back straight is crucial. Right, I'm looking for some markers on the road down here. Oh, actually, I've missed my braking marker because the braking marker was in the shadows there. That was quite difficult. Braking at the 100 board here though, and get it hooked onto that apex. Carry as much speed as you can, off camber, really tricky. We're just going to blip down, not down a gear, but just on the brakes very slightly there, and then down into third here, and on the power as early as you can down this straight. So we're coming down the start straight. I will do one lap just to show you how it goes, but 143.7 is very fast. Braking at the start of the dark tarmac there because you can tell where to start braking quite a lot of the time because there is extra tarmac on the track. You want to run out as wide as you can over that rumble strip. There will be a lot of track penalties in that first corner, I am sure. And now we've got a very long run up to the bus stop chicane, and the bus stop is very sketchy. It is such a bravery corner. And again, I'll be braking sort of around here, across the curb. It's hard to explain what I'm doing sometimes, just off the accelerator to get the car settled. Don't want to be going too far to the right down here because you want to stay on this dark part of the track. You accelerate once you pass the sign that says I love New York. And then braking on the 100 board? No, just before that. I've kind of outbraked myself. It is very difficult to talk and drive at the same time though. And I've got a fast guy coming up behind me. So braking where that sign is, and as I said last lap, you want to be on that accelerator as early as you can through here. I will finish the lap. This time I'm going to try and get my braking right down here, and then I will hang up my boots and we will commentate properly. Braking at the 100, and I'm just going to go back to the pits because I made a ham fist of that. But how's that? There you go. There's your lap guide. There's basically a guide on what not to do. So that's it. I'm hanging up the boots now. Qualifying is starting in, I think, just 2 minutes' time. And as I was saying as we was going out, we have got some insanely good lap times coming off people here. Let me get my camera all sorted out and everything. Get all of the race information on screen. So we have got Scott on a 1:43.7. That is a really fast time. I have no idea how that's possible. We have got people with penalties. We will see lots of people with penalties as the race goes on. Let me figure out the controls. There we go. There's the change camera control. If you've got any suggestions on how I'm commentating or how I can commentate better, just give me a shout out in the chat. This is one of the few races where I can actually read out the comments. I think I've set the PlayStation up correctly to show me the comments. And if you want, I will give out a shout out to any of your channels if anyone here has got a channel as well. Just be sure to like the video and subscribe afterwards. So let's go through the pecking order. Well, Scott is the fastest, but he's not on track, so it's not showing him as the fastest. TLR Smith. He's a very fast guy. I've seen him racing in some of the other categories in the GR2s. He's a very accomplished driver, and no surprise that he's fastest on track at the moment. And then a name that I don't know actually. I guess J46 Dyson, J Dyson. Not come across J Dyson before, but in second place. And both driving the same car, Smith and Dyson in the same car. And we've got someone I know very well, That's Life. Shout out to That's Life. I'll give a shout out to everyone as we go through the video. Shout out to That's Life, my teammate from the last season in League 4, who gave me a very hard time and a very hard race throughout the whole season. I'm not allowed to have favourites, am I, as a commentator? But wishing everyone luck, but especially That's Life. Being biased already, aren't I? And then we've got Hoggy, we've got Bry. I've raced Bry a few times as well, great guy. A new face, Wayne G, I don't know Wayne. Firepower Rufus. Rufus is a legend in his own right. We've got Firepower Osman. I love this name, Harry Poppins, that's brilliant. I think Harry Poppins, you win the Name of the Race award for having the name that made me laugh the most. And then we've got Scott, Hodgie, Bailey. Oh, I've heard things about Bailey. I've heard Bailey's incredibly fast as well. So I'm looking forward to qualifying to see which of these guys really is the fastest. And I'm quite glad that I'm not taking part in the race because it definitely wouldn't be me. I can't dream of a 1:43.7 around here. I have no idea how that's possible. But hey, I'll be watching and I'll be learning. So yeah, I can maybe learn a thing or two. And Ozzy has put in the chat there. I think Ozzy's our host for the race, that we are starting soon. We try to start as close to 1:45 as we can, but we have got to bear in mind that some people may need to go to the bathroom, or go smoke a cigarette, or go put the kids to bed. And sometimes all three, but maybe not in that order. So let's see. Oh, we are starting at 10 minutes to. So I've got 3 minutes of nonsense to talk. How's everyone doing? Put in the chat if you had a good weekend. Let me know. you know, it's all about audience engagement tonight because I can actually read these messages. I think I can read the messages, but I can't see them on screen. I'm not sure if the PlayStation's doing what it should and putting them up. I tell you what I will do then. I will get my phone open. Oh, we have got messages. It does come up. Welcome, you are now featured on the stream, Ozzy. So that's definitely working. I'm going to have fun with that tonight. Good luck, everyone. And if anyone who's watching, again, as I said, is a commentator or has a channel that you want to shout out, just let me know and I will give you a shout out. I'll also give you a subscribe of my own. Whilst we wait, let's talk about the Ultimate Racing League. What are we about? Well, it is a league. It is a racing league. It is the Ultimate Racing League. No, that's a really bad explanation, isn't it? We are a bunch of friendly, clean drivers who get together throughout the week and have all sorts of races. There's a championship most nights of the week, if not all. Some of them are tiered championships, like the one on a Sunday, where we have a League 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and a Champions, League of Champions. And then there's other sort of more fun side series throughout the week. If you are a budding Gran Turismo fan and you want to get involved, just join the Facebook group. If you just search Ultimate Racing League, it'll come straight up. If you join and register with a league, you will get racing really quickly against some of these wonderful drivers. And you'll see... actually, I think I need to cancel my entry, don't I? There we go. Just realised I was currently down to enter the race. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here just to spectate and commentate. As I was saying, we're all a real laugh. We're all really clean, fair racers. Although not many people might say that about me, ironically. But I try to be. You know, anyone can jump in with any level of skill as well. That's the important thing. So you can see in this lobby here that we have anywhere from sort of alien levels of A+, down to C. And you can even join if you, if you don't even have to be C. You can be any level and join. There'll be a league for you. There'll always be a chance for you to have close racing. Some of the leagues also have reverse grid races, so it gives everyone a chance at being near the front. So, yeah, it's really good. Really recommend it. So I'll put a link in the video afterwards if anyone wants to join up. And a big shout out to the members who will be watching tonight. I think a few of you might be watching me for the first time, hearing me dribble on about nonsense for the first time. So I'll try to keep the jokes to a bare minimum and keep the commentary on point. I can usually my excuse for the bad commentary is usually that I'm driving, but I won't have that excuse tonight, will I? So let's see. We are starting the qualifier now, and it's all gone quiet. Here we go. Who's going to be the first out of the pits? Who is going to be the first out? Go, 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 go. Who's going to be first? And it is this guy. let me get my display open. It is Osman. So let's get the views sorted out. So Osman's leading us around in the Toyota Supra. And you can see on the car there all of the decals and details of all of his channels and sponsors and all of the people who make URL amazing. So you can see there we've got all of the names of all of the competitors written all over the car. So I'll try and give that as much free advertising as I can as we go around. And let's flick back and see who else is on track. So we've got Wayne in the Lamborghini. We have got Scott in the absolute nightmare of a M6. It is such a hard car to drive. Let's check out this livery as well. Oh, I love the fade on the livery. That is such a cool livery. And we've got YouTube plastered all over that rear wing as well. Let's go back down the pack. So we've got Bailey in the sister car to Osman, a Supra as well. And what have we got here? So this is a Ferrari. Oh, it sounds amazing, that Ferrari, and it is liveried like a Ferrari should be as well. We have got Hoggy he's just holding back there, letting Smith through. And wow, you don't get better advertising than that, do you? Look at all of those names on the back here. So these are the commentators that we are celebrating tonight. So yes, a big shout out to all of them. I won't go through all of them right now, but as we go through the stream, I'll try and give a shout out to as many people as I can. So look at all of these amazing people. Let's go back down the grid. So we've got That's Life. And nice livery there as well. Nice black, mean-looking Lamborghini. Let's follow him into the first corner. So he's braking on that brake marker board. Tiny little bit late on the accelerator, but a nice clean exit. And now we're flat out up the S's. This is the part where the drivers can just breathe a sigh of relief down here, but not in the race. In the race, they will be slipstreaming down this straight, and it will be scary as. So we will follow That's Life through the bus stop. There's he going to brake. Braking at the 50, over the first curb, damping the brakes, trying to get the car settled. It is so difficult to get the car settled there. Let's follow some of the cars through there if we can. So let's randomly pick firepower. Has he got the firepower? He's got a lovely blue-looking McLaren, and he's braking at the 100 and giving those curbs a nice wide berth, nice and safe, nice and clean. Sometimes that can be really quick. And hugging that inside through the corner that I don't know the name of any of these corners, so I'm going to call that New York corner because there's a sign that says I love New York. This corner I'm reliably told is called the Boot. And let's follow Viking now. Let's see what Viking's doing. We've got a Corvette, another great sounding car. I might just stay with this because it's an amazing sounding car. How early can you get on that accelerator through here? Nice and early there. And running out all the way to the edge of the track. Yes, you don't get much more badass than running out onto the grass there. It is faster. And he's pinning those brakes down into second gear. He'll be sweeping onto that apex and trying to get on that power as soon as. He had a tiny little bit of a lift there. But when you're driving something like a Corvette, it's easier said than done. A very nasty corner there. You saw how the camber spat him out wide. We'll go back to Bry now, and I'm loving the decal there. We have got that really cool decal on the back of the car. I don't know, is Bry a mechanic by any chance? Is he moonlighting here as a rescue vehicle in case anyone has an accident during the race? Let's see. Great to see Bry racing tonight. Someone that I've raced throughout the other series I've been in. Where's he going to brake? So he was braking at the second board on the left there. And let's see if we can get some more footage of people going through that bus stop. Now, Viking has got firepower in the way here. This will be a bit tricky. Is he going to try and pass him? No. But firepower pulls out of the way. Very nice of him there. And maybe we should be going up to Scott and seeing how has Scott put in his fastest lap. So let's watch how he's done it. So he's braking there on the 100. He's got to get that car nice and settled, short shifting up into third there. You really need to with this car because it's a horrible car to drive, the M6. And nice and steady, going nice and tidy around there, getting the car turned in, down into third, sweep, short shift into fourth. Again, it's all about managing the power here, and it certainly makes sense why this lap was fast enough for pole, and he's just gone faster, a 1:43.9. The lap times are tumbling, and Osman, oh no, Osman's thrown this next lap away. He must have ran wide at turn 1. And this is what I mean about turn 1. Look how wide you've got to go. That is how you get the lap time. Bailey showing us how it's done there. Use those track limits. Let's follow Bailey through the bus stop. I expect Bailey to absolutely nail this. I don't want to give him the commentator's curse, but I know that he's one of the faster guys in League of Champions. So let's see how he takes it. And he's down 2 gears, and he's just keeping it nice and steady. It didn't look heroic, but it looked fast. And that is how you do it. You know, if you compare that to how I was driving, I was bouncing the car, catching the car, and that was probably slowing me down. And now it's all about how smoothly you can get on the power through here. And, oh, mistake, he's ran wide. And I saw there that the traction control's kicking in there as well. I can see from the lights at the bottom of the screen, there is a tiny bit of TCS on Bailey's car there. We'll have to see if anyone's running without it. It would be very brave to run with no TCS. Let's see how people are doing up and down the grid. So we've got Waney. Is he going to improve? He's had a bit of a struggle there, the car getting away with it from him, but he's on a personal best. Let's see if he can improve his time and go up a place. And I'm just noticing, actually, look how tight the top of the leaderboard is. 31 thousandths of a second between Bailey and Osman. Wow. And Waney moves into second with that lap. It's a shame we didn't see the lap. This is the struggle I'm going to have with qualifying here. And you can see how he's having to really balance the car through turn 1 there. Let's follow some people down into turn 1 if we can. Let's follow Dyson. Braking hard and sweeping across. Can he stay on the power? Oh, no, he couldn't. And that's the thing. You've got to really try it to find out. Now let's see who else we've got. So let's go on board again with That's Life. That's Life's got Hodgie in front of him. So is he going to get a nice tow? But is he going to get held up? Let's see. And he's having to get out of it. He's having to get out of it. But this is a challenge that everyone faces in qualifying, is how do you get through the traffic? How do you get yourself a clean lap? So both drivers here on a hot lap, so they've both got the right to absolutely go for it. There are no blue flags in qualifying. So yeah, he's just having to work his way through there. And let's go back up through the field. Is Scott improving? Let's see. He's about to come through the next sector, so we'll see whether he's improved or not. He's just going to hook that car in nice and smooth. And he must have made a mistake on this lap because he's a second down. And yes, it's all about knowing who to follow here, isn't it? Osman's backed off. He's going for a lap. Let's follow Osman through into the first corner and up through the first sector. He's clearly backed off, so he's got some space. He's going for it this lap. Braking just before the sign. You want to tuck in and use as much of that inside curb as you can get away with. He's having to get out of the accelerator a little bit there, but could still be a very good lap here. Not much for him to do as he goes down here. He'll be just thinking about Coronation Street and Britain's Got Talent as he drives down this straight. And braking at the 200, sweep across, sweep across. This is the way that I take it, actually. So Osman, you've got my thumbs up there. That is the same way that I take it. I've seen people taking it more cautiously and making up the speed on the exit. Osman's just taking it like a badass. He's just like, yeah, let's go across those curbs. He's really late on the accelerator coming out of there, though. That'll cost him time down this straight. Let's see what Bailey's up to. Nice short shift there, and he's not ran wide this time. So let's see what he does. And let's also go off board as well. Let's pretend that we are a film director. We are Michael Bay. We are directing Gran Turismo the movie, and Bailey's on a personal best. So Bailey has to make this lap count. Actually, let's follow him on board. And we'll go from let's go from the nose camera. I think that's a good camera to use. So he's braking on that 100. He's got to get it hooked in. Got to watch out for that adverse camber. Nice short shift. He is neck and neck with pole. This could be the lap. He just has to keep it clean. Really pushing the limits there. You can see right over to the edge of the track. This is the sort of commitment that we want to see. Is he going to do it? Is he going to steal any positions? No, he doesn't. Who else is on the lap? Let's see. Is anyone else improving? Rufus coming over the line. What's he going to do? He stays 8th. And the brilliantly named Harry Poppins, is he going to improve? He does improve, but it's not enough. He's still 9th. That's life. It's his turn now. Is he going to go any faster? Nope, he's not. He's going to stay in 10th, so he's got to try and get his head down now in the race. and try and put in a good race and make up the positions. There's no points scored in qualifying, remember. In fact, there's no points scored in the race either, because it's not a championship race. The only points that you get for winning are, I guess, reputation points, aren't they, you know? Look how foggy it is as well. A bit of a haze developing over the track. I've suddenly got an urge to go bowling for some reason. I don't know why that is. And Bry the mechanic spinning it across the line. Why not? Have a bit of fun. It is a rental car after all. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So congratulations, Scott, for the pole position into the 143s. The only driver in the 143s. That is an incredible time. And then we've got Wayne and TLR Smith making up the top three. Bailey and Osman, Team Blue, taking up 4th and 5th. And then Dyson in 6th. Where else have we got people here? Let's just go down the grid. So we have got Harry Poppins, That's Life, Viking, Hodgie, Bry, and bringing up the back we have got Firepower. But don't worry, Firepower, you will surely, if you have a clean race, pick off a few people, I'm sure. So I think now we just have a brief lull in the action whilst we get set up for the race. I will say once again thank you to all of our viewers. This hopefully will be actually one of the most viewed streams that I've got. So maybe I should do a bit more commentary, eh? If you think I should do more commentary, give me a thumbs up in the chat. And if you think that I should just stick to driving, also give me a thumbs up in the chat. There we go. How about that? For the race itself, then, let's talk about the race itself. Serious talk now. So the rules for the race, it's a 50-minute race. They are going to be using all 3 compounds of tyre, the hard, the medium, and the soft. And there's no limits on how much you can use those tyres. You just have to use all 3 throughout the race. Now, I am reliably informed that the softs only last a couple of laps. The mediums can easily last half the race distance and will last you a full tank of fuel. And the hard are 3 seconds a lap slower than the softs. So we'll have to watch out on who's going to be taking what strategy as we get underway, because it could all change. You don't know what people are going to be using, and we are starting the race. So 3, 2, 1, and we are starting already. Dum, 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 dum. I will click the spectate button. Let's go through the grid. We've got Firepower, we've got Bry the Mechanic, we have got Hodgie, we have got Viking, That's Life, Harry Poppins, Rufus, Hoggy, Jay Dyson, Bailey, Osman, TLR Smith, Wayne, and Scott. Those are your contenders tonight. And as I said, this is all about thanking our commentators. You'll notice the commentators' names scribbled all over the car. We will stick with Scott as we go down to the first corner, and let's see if he can hold on to his lead into turn 1. We come down into the first corner, and Wayne is immediately putting him under pressure. Look at that. And that's why, because Scott is on the hard tyres. Wayne is on the soft tyres. So Wayne's going to get him already. Wayne goes for the overtake. Let's go on board, let's go on board. Has he got him? Yes, he has, but we've got Scott in the tow now. Can he follow him in the tow? And we've got another move going on behind us as well. We have got Osman on the mediums going past Bailey. Oh, Bailey pulls back inside. They've touched, they've hit, but they've both made it through. Who have we got? We've now got Smith trying to spin his way. Oh, he's got span. He's hit the barrier. He's got damage and he's crawling back. Oh no, terrible luck for Smith. He's going to have to fight back. But he's on the mediums as well, so he should be able to fight his way back. Wayne has taken the lead as we thought he would. Then we've got Scott. Then we've got Osman. Then we've got Bailey keeping Osman. Oh wow, what a drift! What a drift! Bailey will be watching that with a smile, just thinking, wow, light it up, boy. Who's on what tyres? So most of them are on mediums. We've got Scott on hard, we've got Wayne on soft. We have got Hoggy on the hard tyres as well. and Hoggy and Rufus are having a bit of a ding-dong there. So let's go up and down. We've got Hairy Poppins, who's having a look here. He's having a look. Can he get past? No, he can't. Rufus shows him the door there. And they all stay in a line. Going back down, we've got Viking. That's Life hasn't made up any ground on the lap. Oh, he has passed Smith, though. And Smith's damage has been repaired now. Let's watch with Smith to see if he can get himself back up through the order going down into turn 1. Is he going to have him? Nope, he's bailed out on the brakes, but maybe he can get a cut back and get the draft. Let's see. Yes, he's got a better cut back, he's got a better exit, but he's hit him. He's misjudged it and he's just touched. So now these are nose to tail. Look at this, how close they are. You can see the damage there on Smith's car. The damage does heal after a short while. So he's now fighting against That's Life. Is he going to make a move down into the bus stop? How brave is he on the brakes? He's not going to have a go. Let's see how we are progressing up the grid. And Bailey doing another slide there. So Bailey and Osman both seem to have got confused and think that they're in some kind of drift championship. There are extra bonus points for style. And Scott is getting left behind by Waney, but the important thing for Scott is he's not getting dropped by that much to say that he's on the hard tyres. And Osman runs wide there. He was maybe wrong-footed by Bailey going through the heel. I know the name of that corner because I'm a professional. And look at this now. We have got Dyson on Osman. Is he going to go for a dive? No, he's not. He thinks better of it. Can he tuck back under and make another attempt as we go through the corner with no name that I'm going to call the pointy corner? So as we go through the pointy corner, he keeps further to the inside. He's going to have a run on him down the main straight, I think. But what you'll find, I think, is that the Nissan GTR does sort of struggle through the higher speed corners. So he might get left behind. Let's see. But he keeps it nice and tidy. But yes, Osman has pulled a slight gap. He's just got a slightly grippier car through the high-speed corners. Let's watch as Dyson keeps it nice and tidy there. Doesn't use any of the curb, but Osman does. Osman taking the risk there, and it pays off. Let's see if we've got any fights. So we've got a fight again. So Smith and That's Life are having a very good tight battle here. And again, just a bit of touching there. It's kind of hard to judge it when you've got a speed advantage down the straights. And let's see, is That's Life going to have a go? No, he's too far back. Ooh, big twitch there. Squeaky bum moment there for Smith. But he's going to try and make it go round the outside. Can he go around the outside? God, that is so difficult to do. It looks easy on camera, but it's really not easy because the track out there is so dirty. And now he's lining up Viking. Is he going to make his way back through Viking? Is he going to undercut him to the left? Is he going to duck to the right? No, he's keeping to the left. So he's going to brake on that last board on the left, and he's going to try and run it around the outside, but Viking's got the track position there, and well read there by That's Life. He watched and he realised that Smith was going to have nowhere to go. Is he going to try and get him on the brakes? I think he can get him on the brakes, yes. But he's got, again, no way to get through. So I think I'm going to carry on watching this battle. I don't know where to watch, by the way. I will probably miss some of the moves because I don't have a production crew, unfortunately, to tell me where the action is. So it's all down to me. Whilst we're here, so some of the names on there. So we've got Thingamajig. I was about to say that looked a bit too easy, and we have got Viking pitting very early. He's trying to get rid of those hard tyres. That is a smart move, getting rid of the hard tyres after just 2 laps. We'll see how that goes later in the race, though, because he is going to run out of fuel. Pitting this early on the hard tyres is an adventurous move, that's for sure. That's Life's followed him and done the same. And look at the state of those soft tyres on Bry's car. That is the problem with the softs. They only last 4 or 5 laps at the most. He's gaining here on Hodgie, who's on the hards, but he can't get past. Hodgie blocking off the inside very well there, basically putting his car exactly diagonally down the middle of the track, and that's exactly what you want to do to block into the bus stop. Let's see if we've got some battles going up and down the grid. So the front pack are very close together, and I'd say my money's still on Scott here. Scott is on those hard tyres, but he's getting rid of them. That's the thing. Quite predictably, Waney is off out into the distance, but we saw from qualifying that 145 isn't really as fast as these cars can go. In qualifying, I think we saw, what was it, 143. So let's see if 145.2 is enough for Waney to maintain that lead once he gets rid of these softs. It must be said, he's looked after them really well. The state of those tyres compared to Brian the Mechanic's, much, much better. And let's look at his lap times. His lap times are fairly consistent, although I'm not sure what that 151 was. I wonder if he had a penalty or something. Let's compare it. So 146.4 for Bailey. And Bailey is being shadowed very closely by Osman. They've both got the same sort of tyre wear, both got the same amount of fuel. And meanwhile, Scott just hangs back and watches. He knows that if he can just get rid of these hard tyres and stay in touch with these guys, that he's going to have the faster car at the end of the race. He's getting a twitch on there, though. Did you see the rear of the car jumping? You can see the traction control light lighting up like a Christmas tree. But there's no shame in using traction control in these cars. Even at League of Champion level, we like to use traction control in these cars because, especially the M6, it's a bit of a diva. We've got Dyson following Scott very closely, by the way. So Dyson's staying in this lead battle. I'm starting to feel a bit jealous because I wish I was part of this lead battle. I'd like to think that I'd be close to them, to be honest. The qualifying pace was outrageously fast, but I'd like to think that I could keep up with this in the race. But I'm not here to blow my own trumpet. I'm here to talk about the race, aren't I? What I meant to say is I could keep up with them if I was on the softs and Scott was on the hard. We've got quite a big gap back to Hoggy, but Hoggy is on the hards, and I think he's one of only 2 Ferraris in the field as well. I think the other one is Firepower, but don't quote me on that. Actually, no, I don't think so, because I think Firepower's in the McLaren, like Harry Poppins is. For those who are unfamiliar, the cars are all different, but they are all balanced. So in theory, all of these cars should do roughly the same lap time. I do know secretly that the M6 is reportedly the faster of the cars, but I don't think it's by much. We're talking a tenth of a second, and driver skill makes up a lot more than that. And whilst I'm talking, I should have been shouting out that Smith is coming back. He's going to take Harry Poppins here, I think. Yes, he's got him. He just needs to keep the car in check. He's taken quite a lot of curb there and got himself a penalty. I saw him take a lot of curb. That is really unlucky. It's just not going Smithy's way tonight, is it? Really unfortunate. Unfortunately, these things can happen. It usually happens to me. So, sorry to see that, Smithy. But yes, he is unfortunately going to have to take a second penalty here. And then Harry is going to get his way back past. So we'll watch that as Harry comes back past. 3, 2, 1, he's taken the penalty, and there we go, he's back through. What's happening down the grid? So we've got Firepower with a penalty, and then That's Life is actually out onto the softs, by the way. Let's have a look at what lap times he's doing. A 145.5 is actually only a couple of tenths off the fastest lap. So he's really making those softs count. And I notice, I think he's not refueled because he's only got half a tank. So he's maybe gone into pit and just changed the tyres. Let's see how that works out for his fuel load at the end of the race. Remember, this is a 50-minute race. We are a fifth of the way into the race. And my mouth is very dry, and I might have to walk over to the fridge and get a drink. But anyway, we'll pick a good time to do that. I got the urge just randomly to go bowling again there. Does anyone else find it weird that there's a sign that says go bowling right before a tight corner? I mean, Valtteri Bottas must see that sign and think, ah, yes, go bowling. He means the cars. You know, I promise you, the banter does get better. Let's look for some action again. And it didn't take long for Smith to reel in Mr. Poppins. He's reeled him back in, and there's a lovely mist coming over the track. I'm reliably informed that there will be no rain in this race, because, of course, we're in Gran Turismo, so what is rain? Nobody in Gran Turismo has heard of rain. It does exist in the game, but it doesn't seem to exist at half of the locations we race at. So, yeah, I think Smith needs to be brave here. Have him on the brakes. You've got a good chance here. If you just brake slightly later, that's it. Nicely done. Keep it to the inside. And Poppins is trying to make a cutback here. He took a late apex, and he's going to try a cutback of a cutback. But I think it's a done deal now. Smith just has to hold that middle line, and he's got the better tyres now as well, the mediums. Even though they are slightly more worn, I think he should be able to pull away. Let's see what's going on at the front. So at the front, Wayne has really managed to look after those tyres, but look at that, he was a second slower last lap, so those tyres are now pleading to be changed. They are asking for mercy, especially that rear left, but it doesn't seem to be affecting him because he's just set a purple first sector. That is an incredibly fast first sector to say that the tyres have given up. And look at how careful he's having to be on the accelerator through New York corner as we go down into the boot. Let's see how tidy he can take the boot. He's having to shift down now and delaying getting on the power. Those tyres are just absolutely spent. But he'll be getting the call in his headset going, hammer time, hammer time. Oh boy, my voice is already starting to go. These guys need to change tyres and I need to change my vocal cords. Oh dear. You think with a mouth like mine I would be used to talking by now. But anyway, going back to the racing, the gap has now come down. It was 6.3 seconds, it's now 6.6, so Bailey is reeling him in at this stage. And what you will find is that there is just about enough fuel in these cars to go a full stint on the mediums, so you can basically drive this car until it's empty and not have to pit. And Wayne has pitted, and I actually should have been on board with him for that to see how he takes the pit entry, but I missed it. Scott will be saying now hammer time, and as we say hammer time, he's just gone 11 thousandths slower than his personal best. So he is starting to put on the pressure now. The gaps are starting to widen out in the pack as well. Not as many close fights, but Dyson is keeping Scott really, really honest down here. I think these are the two closest cars we've got on track at the moment, but let's go down the pack and have a look. So Poppins is just falling back behind Smith now, but again, we thought that had happened with the medium tyres on Smith's car as Smith works his way back up the field. Oh, and Wayne has come out directly behind Firepower. Is Firepower going to pounce? What tyres? So Wayne is on the mediums and he's taken a full tank of fuel. Now he really doesn't want Firepower to get past him down here because that would really compromise his outlap and the best that he's got out of those tyres. But he's held it, he's alright. With him also being one of the front runners, Wayne, you know, he can just be a bit relaxed and know that he's favourite to come out of the bus stop in the lead. And just looking, actually, we have got That's Life on his soft tyres. He's going to have a go at Firepower down here, and actually, I don't know why, but Firepower ducked out of the way there. He's just said, no thank you, I will mind my own. But does this mean now that That's Life is on a charge to hunt down Wayne? Because look at this, he's got soft tyres and low fuel, medium tyres and high fuel. So he might have a pace advantage down here. Let's stay with him and see if he can hold it. Let's switch view for a bit as well. Let's follow from the bonnet camera. You can really hear the engine when you're on this mode. that lovely Lamborghini engine. It sounds beautiful. If anyone's seen... Oh, hang on, he's pitting, and he's kept it in the lines, has he? I think he has. That was a very aggressive in-lap there. And what's he going to put on? I think mediums. Let's have a look, though. Is he going mediums, or is he going hards? And he is refueling. Let's stay with him, because it gives me a chance to just rest my voice slightly. I'm just going to grab myself a can of pop. Oh, and he's back out onto the softs. This is an interesting strategy. So very daring, because you only have to use each set of tyres once. But he liked the softs so much that he said, "Okay, I'm going to have another set, please." And he's limited to just 31. Oh, it was a glitch. okay, it was a glitch. It's mediums, and has he stayed within the lines? He has. I think he's avoided getting a penalty. He is in last place, but he is out of sequence with everyone now, having pitted more times than everyone else. Let's see how we're getting on at the front. So we've got Bailey and we've got Osman, and actually, look at that. That's very telling. Bailey looking after his tyres better than Osman. If I toggle between them, look at that front left. And then we've got Scott on the hard. And Scott going quite deep into the race here with the hards. Most people want to get rid of them, but Scott says, "No, thank you. I will race on hard for the first stint, for the whole first half of the race, until I run out of fuel, thank you." What Scott will learn, and what everyone will learn, is that you won't actually have quite enough fuel to do half the race on hard, half the race on medium, and then a quick stint on the soft at the end. We've tried it, and you fall short by 1 or 2 laps. So there might have to be some fuel saving involved if you're going to try and just do a stint on hard, a stint on medium, and a stint on soft. Either that, or you could try to eke out the softs. You would need to eke them out, I think, for about 9 or 10 laps. And we saw Wayne trying to do that. And we've got a fight on our hands here, actually. So we've got Wayne cruising past Hodgie. Not a problem for him. Has he kept it within the lines? Yes, he has. He really needs to make these laps count, because this is all undercutting. Is he going faster than Bailey? So he's doing a 146.7, 146.5, 146.7. Very consistent. Meanwhile, we're doing 145s, 145s, and 146.2s. So I would say that Bailey could come out in front of Wayne here if he keeps up this pace. But bear in mind, he's also got to refuel more in the car as well. He's on nearly an empty tank at this stage. So there's a lot of pressure on these laps now, and it seems like he must have had a penalty on lap 12, because it's coming up as an invalid lap. Scott's pitted. What's he going to put in? Well, I don't trust Gran Turismo to tell me anymore, because last time it didn't. Look at that amazing livery. Shout out to Mark Wilson, one of our commentators as well. Shout out to Slowpoke. I'll try and shout everyone out, but our apologies if I do forget anyone. Really cool livery. It's probably my favourite one. I'm not allowed to have favourites, but it is a stunning livery. Not quite sure how he's going to look out of his rear window with the Union Jack all over it, but if you're as fast as Scott, you don't need to look out of the rear window, because everyone else is behind you. In the distance, you can't see them. He's out onto the mediums. He's going to try and keep it within the lines. Expertly done. So easy to throw away a 3-second penalty by accidentally crossing that white line. I say white line, it's a yellow line. They're all lines. And look at Rufus. My favourite thing about Rufus, right, is that he's not always at the front in qualifying, but you never rule out him putting in a ridiculously fast lap. And he's put in a 144.9 in the race. It is just so Rufus. It's so fun to watch Rufus go around. And another cool livery as well. These BMWs liking the fading paint. Yes, ruthless Rufus. Is he going to be ruthless tonight? Well, let's see. Maybe what Rufus needs is a convertible, and then he can be ruthless Rufus. Told you the jokes get better, don't they? And Firepower did get a 3-second penalty for crossing the pit line. That is what a 3-second penalty does. That's what crossing the pit line does. That's life. Enjoying those medium tyres. And let's see, we've got Osman pitting. So Osman and Bailey both pit at the same time. Let's see who's going to get out of the pits first. I think they've swapped places, haven't they? I'm sure they have. They have swapped places because Osman was behind, wasn't he? So Bailey's gone on to hards. They haven't swapped places. Again, it's just a graphics glitch. But this is interesting. The two teammates on two different tyre compounds, they will know that they're on different compounds. Bailey, I don't think will hold him up here. I think this might be a choreographed overtake, but let's see. Let's see what happens. No, it's not going to be a choreographed overtake. They are racing for real, and you can see that is the advantage of having soft tyres versus hard tyres. Almost running into Bailey there. I think, yeah, they are. Bailey isn't going to make it too difficult for him here. That is the advantage of passing your teammate. And Osman sliding the car again. He likes sliding that back end. I noticed that he's short shifting as well. I think that must be something to do with the power band of that Supra, because I saw Bailey doing the same thing. So we do expect now Osman to pull away from Bailey because of the tyre advantage. And it's Dyson's turn to pit. Now let's see what tyres Dyson puts on. It appears he's put on round tyres as opposed to square or triangle. Let's see, he's filling the car up. Is he going to fill the car to the brim? It'd be very... I was going to say it'd be wise to fill the car to the brim. He's actually not brimmed it. So maybe he's trying something here to get an undercut on everyone else. He might be able to get out in front of what's his name and what's his name. See, I'm such a good commentator. Osman and Bailey. But he's not. Oh, and he's got a 3-second penalty. There you go. That is how easy it is to do. He's just touched the line. It was maybe on the way into the pits. But that is super unlucky. That'll bite him down the back straight when it gets applied. But he didn't manage to get out in front of Osman or Bailey anyway, which is a bit of a shame. And then Scott's now hanging back here in 6th place. He might shuffle back through the order though, because he is now on the faster tyres. He is on the mediums. I think the medium tyres are really the tyres you want to be on. The medium tyres can go quite a long distance. They can go half the race distance, whereas the softs can only go maybe 6 or 7 laps. And they're not particularly slow, whereas the hard tyres are absolutely awful. So Scott's going to get the easiest overtake of the night down here. Watch this. Nice and easy as Dyson takes his penalty. Let's see if we've got any fights going up and down the grid. And no, we haven't. And I just caught the tail end of Smith coming in. I wonder, I think he might have just touched the line there. Might be getting a penalty. But let's have a look. I'll give a shout out to some more sponsors whilst we're in the pits. So we've got Idle 4 Gaming on there. I actually don't know LMA, but I'll shout out LMA on the windscreen there. That's a new one. Who else have we got? Slowpoke. Shout out to Slowpoke. And Firepower as well. Unforgiven. Our god of URL, Unforgiven. He's the boss man. He's the guy who organises this incredible championship. It's almost like a full-time job organising a bunch of adrenaline-packed racing drivers like ourselves. So a big shout out to Alex Unforgiven as the showrunner. And Yeah, Smith actually avoided a penalty there, so I was wrong. He's onto the soft tyres, so he'll be pushing hard now to try and get the lap time out of those. They are the quick tyres. And Waney has filtered back through to the lead of the race as well, on his medium tyres. And I'm starting to fancy Waney for the win, actually. I know we've got a long way to go yet, and Scott was faster in qualifying. But Waney's strategy, I think, is quite compelling. But you can see how much of a handful the car is through that hairpin there. And he's having to go down a gear for that corner as well. This corner is third gear. Oh, he's taking it in second, actually. So yeah, just fighting the car there. But the lap time looks good. Yeah, so 1:46 is a very, very decent lap time on the mediums. Just nibbling that curb, and then you want to let the car run out onto this rumble strip. You've got to keep all four wheels within the edge of the rumble strip, otherwise you get a penalty. But he did, showing you exactly how it's done there with the track limits. Let's see, we have got a fight. We have got Scott versus Bailey. Here we go. Is he going to have him? So it's mediums versus hards, and it's payback time because Scott was on the hards in that first stint. Just going to take a quick sip of pop while we'll go down the straight. And Scott purple. So he's gone. He's not gone purple himself. Don't worry, he's not suffocating. I mean the lap time. He has gone purple, and he's all over the rear end of Bailey. See, Bailey does't have the advantage of having a big decal across his back window, so he'll be seeing Scott getting closer and closer, and he'll be like, ooh, this is going to be nasty. He's going to try and get a switchback on him. I think so. He should be able to get on the power quicker, and yes, he's got a switchback, and now the pass should be easy from here. You just have to hold your line. Bailey would have to go all the way around the outside here. Bailey will be trying to get a cutback, but on the hard tyres it's just too difficult, and Scott makes the place. That is a textbook overtake. And going from first to third gear there, Bailey has no respect for second gear, skipping it altogether, and that is the best way to drive that car. When you've got those hard tyres, you've got to manage the power of these cars. They are such a handful. And it really shows the talent of the drivers, how no one has spun out yet. Everyone holding the car together really nicely. I've not actually seen any mistakes. We have got a fight. We have got Smith versus Harry Poppins now. I still love that name, Harry Poppins. That is a brilliant name. Is he going to dive down into turn one? It wouldn't be the smartest place to overtake. And the reason why is because you can follow down here and get a tow. In fact, he doesn't need to follow down here because he's going to have the inside here. And Harry Poppins is letting him go. Is he going to pull back into the tow though? Yes, he is. Who's got the top end? Who's got the top speed down here? Is he going to have another go? He's certainly looking at it, but Smith very late on the brakes and so strong over those curbs. He really took the inside line there. And he likes the curbs there as well, all over them. Likes the curbs there. You know what? They laid those curbs for a reason, so use them. I say that. There we go. I was going to say, he missed one. He missed one of the curbs. Is he going to get the curbs this time? Nah, you don't need the curb through here. It actually makes you slower if you hit the curb through there. But let's see what's going on up and down the track. Let's follow the tail end a little bit more. Are there any stories down at the back? So Bry hanging on in there. He's got a bit of a gap up to Viking. I think he's the only Porsche on the grid actually. So a nice bit of variety. The Porsche is a very well sorted car. The engine being in the back is very good if you are a mechanic like Bry, because it's nice and easy to reach. We've got I think the Soul Corvette as well. let's go on board with the Corvette from the bonnet camera and really hear that big V8. Let's follow Viking around a bit, give him some screen time. No pressure, Viking, but we are all watching you right now. Where's he going to brake? Right on his marks. And he's just stuttering a little bit on the accelerator there, but very smooth. Braking at the 100, and this corner is horrible. Short shifting and moderating that throttle. And then it's just a lift and a coast through here. And then down a gear for the next one. Oh, down 2 gears even. And in the background, I've accidentally activated my Alexa. So I'll say Alexa a few times and see if we can activate everyone else's. Oh, he's struggling to get the car turned in across that first apex. But we'll leave him alone now. We are 32 minutes into the race. I'm going to have no voice left at the end of this. Wayne still leading, and actually Wayne will be coming round to lap some people soon as well. And you can see there how smooth he is on the power. It's very important to be smooth on the power as you've got this long straight now, and every tenth of a second that you can gain on that turn in of that first corner is worth 3/10 by the time you're at the end of this straight. How aggressive is he going to be on the bus stop? He's giving the curbs a wide berth, very neat and tidy. Maybe that's the fastest way. Maybe that is why I've been struggling. And then just running the car out quite nicely onto that exit curb. Braking where the path is on the left. Is it a path or a manhole cover? There's something on the left down there. And he is pushing. Look at how much of the track he's using. He's really pushing. In fact, no wonder he's pushing. This is his in-lap. He is pitting this lap, I think, because he is on low fuel. So, meanwhile, we've got Osman, who has no front left tyre left. That front tyre is absolutely toast. How many laps has he done on that? He's done 5 or 6 laps. So I guarantee you he'll be pitting as well this lap. He'll be really struggling to pick up the accelerator with that front left. And look at that, he just doesn't want to turn that thing, does it? Yeah, it must be tortuous to drive. So let's watch Wayne in. He's being very careful there with the yellow line. And is Osman going to be as careful? Oh, Osman pushing a little bit though. He's taking a bit of a risk. But look at Wayne. He had 1 litre of fuel left when he pitted. A single litre. That is some fuel management going on right there. We'll find out what tyres they both pick. I think we're going to see Wayne on the hard because he's not taking it yet. But let's see. What's Osman going to be on? I think Osman hasn't used the hard yet either, has he? So this could be interesting to see Wayne versus Osman. They've both got the same fuel. That is probably no coincidence. And yes, so Osman is on the hards. And whoa, they are so close together. They could not be any closer together. They came out of the pit lane on top of each other. Gran Turismo, the real racing simulator, that can happen. And they are both on the same tyres. This is going to be the fight of the race, I think. They are both on the same tyres. They've both got the same strategy, the same fuel, just different cars. Let's see who can adapt to those hard tyres the fastest, because neither driver will have practiced so much with the hards. So it's all about learning the car on this outlap. You want to take risks, but don't throw it away. It's so easy to lock a brake, and look at that, Osman running wide. But he's managed to pick it up and take a late apex. Maybe cost him a 10th or so. And Wayne braver on the brakes. And I think Wayne is a bit quicker on the accelerator there as well. But not enough to go for a pass down here. He's too far back. But Waney is pressuring Osman here. Osman will be feeling it a little bit. But by now, he will be used to the handling of the car. A couple of corners is all it takes to get up to speed. And we've got Dyson pitting as well. Osman's got himself settled now and has pulled a bit of a gap. Let's see what else we've got up and down the grid. So we've got Smith up into third on his recovery drive. So at the start of the race, for those who missed it, Smith had a coming together. I can't remember who it was with, but he unfortunately went back down to the back of the grid. Let's give a shout out to some more people who are plastered all over that car. So Paul C, I don't think has had a mention yet. And I think I've mentioned most of this. Oh, I've not mentioned Hoppers. Hoppers, what a legend Hoppers is as well. Really nice guy. Really enjoyed racing against him last season as well. So Smith's got the difficult job now of managing dead tyres. Look at those. Look at that outside left. That is the tyre that gets the most punishment around this track. And it's corners like this one that really punish it. You're dragging that left tyre all the way round the outside as you go up the hill. And actually, Bailey has taken the lead of the race. Scott has taken the lead of the race. I'm wondering, did I miss an overtake or did I capture that one? But either way, I did say my money was still on Scott, and he is delivering. And oh, Bailey was over the line there. I am sure he was. I think Bailey's about to get a penalty, but he's just done a short stint on the hard tyres. In fact, only 2 laps or 3 laps. So he's done a couple of laps and just went, no, don't like them, give me. I'm guessing he's going to take the mediums and go to the end. Let's see. Or is he going to be really brave and take the softs? We have got 12 minutes left. The softs could just about make it. That would be about 6 laps left of the race tonight. And he has gone for the softs. He's being brave. And he's put exactly 6 laps of fuel in the car as well. But is he going to get a penalty? Oh, he's been very lucky. It did look like he was touching that line on the way in. But a professional driver, well, no, not a professional sim racer, let's say, leaves no room on the track, leaves nothing to spare. And as I say that, he demonstrates it with an insane amount of curb. I'm getting mixed messages of what's the fastest way through the bus stop, because if you watch Waney, he doesn't really use the curbs, but he's really fast through there. And then you've got Bailey who just bounces it. Different approaches. Got to admire the level of commitment there. So we've now got Waney on Osman. That battle is still ongoing. Let's go back down the grid again and see how people are doing. So Dyson, he was keeping up with the leaders, but he has now sort of fallen back. He is 15 seconds off Bailey. So let's see how the strategies come together though. So Bailey is on those softs, and Smith, he's having to pit for the final time. He's actually pitted 3 laps in a row. He's just testing the mechanics at this stage. 3 laps in a row. It works. As long as you use all of the tyres once, that's all that counts in this race. And Harry Poppins, I think, making his final stop as well. Let's go back down the grid. So that's life sticking in there. He's maintained his position since the start of the race. He started in 10th and he's still in 10th. How's that for consistency? Let's go on board and watch how he is through the final 2 corners. He's, I think he's struggling for grip a little bit. It feels like he's maybe not quite as confident as some of the others through those final 2 corners. And the Lamborghini is a very numb car to drive. It doesn't give you a whole bunch of feedback as a driver. But if you can... Oh, and he's He's going to get a penalty, I think, half a second there for going off track. So, not enjoying the car. Very harsh, actually. He's got a 1 second penalty. That's very mean. And we'll have to see now whether Rufus can take advantage of that 1 second penalty, because he's not that far behind. Scott making his final pit stop. Is Scott going to come out in the lead? Let's stay with it. In fact, no, let's not stay with it. Let's do the opposite. Let's go with Osman and see if Osman comes out in the lead on these hard tyres. And he's pushing hard, using the rumble strips. And very smooth on the power. Scott has left the pits. He is moving towards turn 1. And I was looking at the wrong car, because actually Osman has taken the lead. I was looking at the wrong car. So I'm such a good commentator. I was looking at the blips on the map. So our running order as we go into the final 8 minutes, the final 4 laps of this race. We have Osman leading. We have Waney in second place. They are both on the same tyres, on the racing hard tyres, and they both have enough fuel to make it to the end. We then have Scott, who's got slightly more fuel. He's got the soft tyres on that car, and I think he's in full quali mode now. He basically needs to do 4 qualifying laps. It's not unheard of this that Scott could still win this, because the soft tyres are 2 to 3 seconds a lap faster than the hards. I say 2 to 3. For me, 3 seconds slower. But these guys are much more talented than me. Maybe they can get more lap time out of those hards than I can. But he is devouring Waney's lead here. And he needs purple sectors all the way to the finish if he's to win the race. Put in the chat, who do you think is going to win the race? There's no prize if you're correct, but it just makes the algorithm think that I'm more popular, basically. That's what it is. We've got Waney slamming on the brakes there. Those hard tyres, those hard tyres are really, really spent. Oh, not spent. Really, what's the word? Not spent. They're basically like driving on boulders, and I think Scott's going to try and get him up here now. He is. And Waney, being a very sporting driver there, not fighting it, he knows that it's a lost cause. If he can get in the slipstream here, he's not going to be able to make a pass, but he can at least let Scott know that he's there. And now Scott has to chase down Osman for the win. Let's see what else we've got. We've got Bailey's got damaged. He's had an accident. He's gone off the track at some point because his front bumper's damaged. So that won't be doing him any good, but he will be trying to come back through on Waney. If he's doing 144 nines against 146 fours, he's got every chance of catching Waney by the end. But the damage has now repaired itself. That basically makes people like Bry the Mechanic redundant, because cars repair themselves in Gran Turismo. How are they doing for fuel? Well, Waney's got less fuel than Bailey, so could be interesting if it comes down to the last lap having to do lift and coast. Scott's got more fuel than everyone, and Scott is setting personal bests as well. Osman with the fastest lap at the moment, but let's see. Scott versus Osman. That is a clash of the titans if ever there was one. And taking 6/10 off his personal best there, Scott. Oh, he was struggling there. He was struggling, but he's devouring Osman. Look at that. He's gained 2.5 seconds this lap. 146.3, 144.7. We'll come back to that in a moment, because we don't want to miss that. What's happening down the grid? So Dyson with a penalty. We've got a lot of cars in space here. Hairy Poppins on Hoggy, but Hoggy has got worn out tyres. And this looks quite close actually. Viking and Firepower having a fight amongst themselves down the back. And I think Viking will have him here. Not maybe this corner, but he will certainly be able to get past. He's got those soft tyres. What's the gap? 1 second now to Scott. I'll keep an eye on it. I don't want to miss it, but I also don't want to miss this either. I don't know where to look. Stuff's happening everywhere. That's the challenge when you're commentating live. So there he is, Scott, in the background, getting closer and closer. And look at the drive he's got. Let's follow from this sort of weird camera angle. And now let's follow it from here now. It is getting dark. Oh, and he's got the perfect drive here. He's got the perfect drive. He's going to have him. He's going to have him. He's got him. And at the same time, he's stolen the fastest lap as well. So he's got pole, fastest lap, and he's currently leading. Now, the big question is, can he make those tyres last the distance that he needs to? Well, with these kind of lap times, he should be all right. And we've actually got Osman following in the tow here, keeping up with Scott because he's got the slipstream. And he is pushing hard. That was very good for the hard tyres there, but this is the corner where the hards will cry no more. How do I do it? How do I predict that? Well, yeah, that was just a good prediction, wasn't it? So I can't wait to give my voice a rest after this. I've never commentated before, and then I come and commentate on a 50-minute race. So Scott just has to keep it tidy now and manage those tyres. And after all of that, Viking did get past Firepower. I missed it, but I had to pick one of the fights. I couldn't watch both. And That's Life could be hunting down Rufus here. So let's see what happens. They're both on the same tyres. That's Life is very low on fuel though. He is really low on fuel. Very smooth driving there. That was really nice to see. He's certainly not driving like he's low on fuel, is he? He's revving it out. So that gap's staying fairly stable though to Rufus there. Let's see what Hoggy's doing. So Hoggy does have to pit though. Either that or he's got to find a way to drag dead tyres all the way to the finish. Look at that, four-wheel drift. Let's go from off-board and watch him drifting this Ferrari, because those tyres are dead. He's having to get out of it, but I think at this stage what he's basically said to himself is, I've got no choice. If I pit, I'm going to lose places, and it is the final lap now. And That's Life is the first person across the line, but not in a good way, in a way that he is the first person to cross the line after the 50 minutes is up. And we've got Scott just coasting home now. He's got a nice 3-second cushion. He's got some lapped cars up in front. I can't make out, that's Bry, isn't it? That is Bry the mechanic up in front, but he should be okay. I'm sure Bry will get out of the way if he needs to, but he's far enough in front anyway. And then Osman coming home for what is probably going to be second, and Bailey what is probably going to be third. Wayne keeping him company the whole way though. So really close racing between Bailey and Wayne the whole race, it must be said. And Smith with his recovery drive. Smith really couldn't show what he's made of because of the accident he had at the start. And guys, I've got to tell you off, there's no flashing allowed. We are a strictly no flashing championship. No, I'm joking. It's okay over the line. Don't think Smith's going to be flashing low. He'll be like, come on, because I'm sure he wanted to be in the fight. And then we've got Poppins coming home, flashing his lights in sixth, followed by Dyson. Good result from Poppins there then to take Dyson, because Dyson was up at the front at one point. Hoggy's managed to nurse those tyres home, and we've just got Rufus now, who Rufus could actually just go and have a picnic at this stage, because there's no need to finish. And he doesn't have a picnic, he has a nice spin. If you're going to finish the race backwards. And there we go. So, our winner is Scott. I don't know Scott's surname, we just know him as Scott. I don't know his surname. Maybe his surname's Ish, I don't know. So, congratulations anyway, Scott. I tell you what he has, Scott. He's got a lot of speed. And then I've already forgot who was second. You said great commentaries. I forgot who was second, but it was Osman, wasn't it? And then Bailey, and then Wayne. So congratulations, guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you found it interesting. I'll give my voice a rest for a couple of weeks now before we go back to racing in URL for the next URL Sunday Championship, where yours truly will be taking part and be soundly getting beaten by some of these people. So thanks again. I wish you all a good night, and I will see you in the next one. Good night.
Thanks, Chris. I'll watch this back. My race wasn't very eventful, rolling on the floor laughing.